I would have loved to have cleaned up around here so you don't see this mess, but I'm just reading an article here that this very good XXY guy sends me on email, and it's about marriage, gay marriage. But just don't go away, please listen to this, people. They're talking about, I'll just read it out to you because I'm not very clear in the head, and I just want to be very clear with you all here, is that I've been off the testosterone, what, nearly 20 months. 20 months. I've missed my injection 20 times. And I'm very scatty-brained. I don't think it's worth going through life feeling the way I do. And I know most of my emotions and thoughts are built on a very hormonally imbalanced body, so I'm not stable off testosterone. It's awful. But look, this is really pissing me off. I'm reading this, haven't even got very far. When sex is defined legally, it may be defined by any one of several criteria. The XY sex determination system, the type of gonads, or the type of external sexual features. By all of these definitions, both transsexuals and intersex individuals are legally categorized into confusing grey areas and could be prohibited from marrying partners of the opposite sex or permitted to marry partners of the same sex due to arbitrary legal distinctions. This could result in long-term marriages as well as recent same-sex marriages being overturned. Isn't that sick? Now this has got to be an American thing, because I can't imagine this being around the world, but when it's anything that starts in America, and this is my for America again, but all these sorts of things generally start off in America and then they travel around like the fucking bird flu to the rest of the world. Now America, fuck off with that crap. Yeah, it's obvious what you're trying to do. You're trying to put people off. And if this happens to not come from America and I've been blamed again for being racist, don't blame me. Be accepting the fact that I am racist towards America in general. Can't stand American attitude. Can't stand it. I think you're full of yourselves in general. And even Obama, who I actually think has to be the next president, is not perfect enough. I mean, you know, there's nobody perfect enough. And I have to say, looking around the world now, the Irish Prime Minister, which is the Taoiseach, and the Irish name for Prime Minister is Taoiseach. So the Irish Taoiseach and the English Prime Minister both are not very good at the moment either, because there's been a standard set with Bush standard, so it's alright seemingly to have people who are not very good for the job. Obama would be very good for the job, but there are certain things that he said, like, and America will rule again, sort of thing. It's like, thankfully America hasn't ruled completely yet. It's definitely on the way to that. Well, it was on the way to that, except that now you'll never get there unless you forcefully take what you want, which you've been doing anyway for the last 10 years at least. But I think it's nuts. I think America is nuts. I think this plastic surgery business, I mean, plastic surgery is a daily practice that happens to thousands, if not millions, of individuals in the world. But you know, again, plastic surgery started to hit it off because Americans continued to preach freedom of speech. We can do what we want, land of the free, blah blah blah, you know. But land of the free meant that you crossed borders that you just felt that you could and wanted to cross, but actually you couldn't cross it really, because if you did cross it, you would fuck things up. Now, Americans generally don't jump before they leap, what's it? Look before they leap. Yes, they don't generally look before they leap. This is a very blanket statement. I know there's a lot of great Americans out there, but just sorry, 70% of you, at least 70% that show themselves, are dickheads. You know, there's simply, if you ask me, no hope for them. You'd nearly be better off to exterminate those people. But of course I don't believe in extermination or putting people into prisons. And I love the American system, which is absolute sarcasm. I love the American system for putting innocent people into jail. And technically they're not innocent because you've got laws there that you can't do shit there. You know, can't drink on the street. People cover it with brown paper bags. You know there's alcohol underneath it. That's fucking ridiculous. Why do you get people to do that? It's the same in Ireland, just to tell you. Can't drink in the street either. So I'm not just getting in America, but I am predominantly getting in America, yes. So be clear on that. I'm just going to finish this, another bit of this, email. An example of the problem with chromosomal definition would be a woman with complete androgen insensitivity syndrome, which is CAIS. A very similar thing to what I am, which is XXY. So an example of the problem with chromosomal definition would be a woman with CAIS who would have a 46XY karyotype, which is typically male. Although she may have been legally registered as female on her birth certificate, being raised as a female her entire life, have engaged in heterosexual female relationships, and may even have married before the status of her condition was known, using the chromosomal definition of sex could prevent or annul the marriage of a woman with this condition to a man, and similarly allow her to legally marry another woman. These same issues were faced by the IOC to determine who qualified as a female for the women's competitions. It's sick because I wouldn't qualify as a male, even though I look like a male. So really start to see a finger, people of the world, not my subscribers and all these people who do watch my videos, of course not, but the other people. I mean, I'm off testosterone 20 months. You think that I'm going to be like a fucking flower with that sort of shit? Are you fucking joking? Are you fucking stupid? Now, we're all different, and I'm sorry for presuming that you're stupid because you don't know that, but I'm sorry the anger comes up and I need to, sorry. But I do mean this, like, I mean, you think that I would be less aggressive because I'm hormonally imbalanced, because I've got less testosterone, than I would be a passive, easy, oh, it's okay, everything's fine. Are you fucking joking me? And again, that's the second time I've said that and haven't even got to the point yet, but of course there are people, XXYs, who are very similar to me in look maybe or whatever, and who are not aggressive without testosterone. My question to that is, how hormonally imbalanced are they? Have we actually got figures on that? Because certainly there's no figures on me. I haven't been forced to get blood tests every month, you know. I think I should have been screened all my life. Somebody should have fucking taken care of me, you know, because I've been to enough doctors, I've paid out enough money to doctors, and they never did anything. Heard about doctors in Denmark, I heard about doctors in America, the brilliant doctors that I could have gone to, but that meant travelling to these countries and paying loads of money in it. My mother was on for it. I said, are you joking? Spend loads of money on that, I'll be fine. So I wanted to say that off testosterone, it's mad. This thing here is just the way that the powers that be, a lot of people like to call this powers to be the Illuminati. Personally, I think that's just a fucking word that will get lost in translation on, so don't fucking bother about talking about Illuminati. Let's just talk about how fuck are we going to get these people who are making these fucking decisions to fucking turn around and sit down, you know, landed a free my ass, you know. So if this is going to continue going this way, that they tell a CIS person who is technically in their mind, well, no, I can't say it, I can't say technically male, female, but CAIS people generally are woman looking, okay, but of course have XY chromosomes. I would say not all of them have XY chromosomes. I'd say chromosomes has fuck all to do with it anymore. But I of course, you know, went around for the first 10, 12 years of knowing that I was XXY, telling everybody in the world that I met, and I talked to a lot of people, that I'm XXY, I'm different, that I'm not your male type. And a lot of people accepted it, and then a lot of people didn't understand it, but they still heard it. And what needs to be done now is that the world needs to hear that there isn't just male and female in the world, and forcing people into categories like this, where you're telling them they can't marry now. Anyway, I'm going to have to do another video because this is 11 minutes long and I'm going to talk about this. Okay, so I'm going to leave it now, do my next video.